What's the difference between a 2-point seatbelt and a 3-point seatbelt? Quite possibly your life. Why? A 3-point system that we've installed today most notably has this strap that's going to be going across your chest and anchors into the corner right here. When you slam on your brakes, you get into an accident, it is going to keep you from careening forward into your steering wheel and eating your dash. Now, if you only had a 2-point system, what's going to happen is you're only going to have the strap at your waist right here. So when you get into the accident, you're just going to go fully forward and eat this steering wheel. My name's David Welch. I'm at Brothers Tech Center today to show you how to get into your truck safe, save your life, and the guy next to you too. Stay tuned. Now, this doesn't take any complicated tools, all simple stuff that you should have in your toolbox, and it's going to take you about an hour or two. I'd say your degree of difficulty is really only about a 1 or 2. It is semi-time consuming to take the seat out. You probably could do it with a seat in there. It's just easier to do it with it out, and I wanted to show you guys all how it looked with the seat out, so it's a little bit easier for you. You're going to come with your seat belts, obviously. You can get your nuts and bolts that are necessary to bolt it to these brackets that I'll show you where they go in just a second. It does not, however, come with the bolt that originally bolted your seat belts in. So make sure that when you take your old seat belts out, you keep your old bolts and you're going to be reusing that or get some new ones. You can see here that on these brackets, they're a little bit different looking. And the reason being is that this one here is going to go onto your passenger side right here. And it's just going to install nice and simple right like this. Now, the reason that this one looks so much different is that normally there's a gas tank in here, and what this will do is when it mounts to basically the same place on the left side, it's given that extra clearance for where the gas tank would be. This does not have a gas tank in there. It's not that big of a deal, but we'll still be using this bracket right here. Now, when I am going to be installing this, I'll put my brackets in first, and then I'll go ahead and I'll install this on. Now, I'm going to go ahead and install this now just to show you how it goes. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that these right here are not twisted or turned around like this. Okay, so you make sure that's all nice and even and flat. And that's all good to go right like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this bracket here and I want to sandwich it between these two here. So we will get a washer. We'll get the bolt that is supplied with it. You'll also notice that this has 2 different types of bolts right here. You'll see this shank or this shoulder right here. And this is going to be going up into the corner right here. I'll show you why it looks like that in just a bit. This one right here has no shank, just regular looking bolt. So we're going to put our washer on. We're going to go ahead and put it through this bracket, through this bracket. Again, making sure that that did not get twisted on me, because that'll happen a lot. Okay. Another washer, and then this is a nylon lock nut, so you do not need to put a lock on this. Now, you can install these first and then attempt to bolt it up, but I find it easier to do it the other way around. Again, I just wanted to show you how this assembles and smashes together here. Now, I'm going to go ahead and get these installed, and then I'll show you what we do in the upper corner here. All right, now when I'm installing this piece right here, I want to make sure that it is parallel with my door opening here. I want this to fit like this. I don't want it cockeyed. Now I can go ahead and install this guy. Once again, watch out for this because they will flip around you on a second. And when you're tightening this bolt up right here, when you get it snugged up a bit, make sure that this right here is not laying down, that it is up straight like that. and then you can tighten it up the rest of the way. With that tight, I can go ahead and install my upper piece right here with this bolt right here. Now this plastic piece is going to be covering this metal piece that has a hole in it. Usually that's an easy way to get them to separate. So once again, that clicks in there like that. You do something like this, and you can pop that back off. Now here you can see that the reason that that shank is in there is so that when it is bolted up, this can still move and adjust across your chest. So when you're installing this, you're just going to go ahead and go up in here. You might want to check to make sure that the threads are all clean first. If you've got all of this balanced together and you're having trouble getting it to go in, it's difficult to see. Is it just because I'm juggling a bunch of pieces, or is this rusted up or got a bunch of paint in it or what have you? So make sure that it is threaded and going to be easy for you. Then this will be a little bit easier for you overall. And before you bolt it in, one last check to make sure that your straps are not twisted. These are fine thread, so you do have to be careful not to cross thread. So make sure you put them in first with your fingers and make sure that it is in there good before you go on and you don't strip any of the threads. Have to make sure that when you're tightening it that it stays in the center of the hole. If it gets offshoot there a little bit, then when you bolt it down, it won't be able to move like this, and we definitely have to have that happen. So now we're all tight. We can still move. We take our plastic piece here and then snap it in, and we're ready to go. Now I'll go ahead and install the shorter piece right here. And again, we took our old ones out to save time. When this is being installed, make sure you have a washer on here. And then this is going to install just like this. So one of the things you'll have to watch on these is to make sure that you're not installing it upside down. You don't want to have it have to flip this thing around. Make sure that it is like this with a button up when you're installing this. So notice how that is down there. Now on the left side, this piece is a little bit different, again, to make clearance for the gas tank that may be in here. You'll know you're installing it right. If you were to install it like this, it is going to hit your chrome sill plate right here. So we know this is incorrect. What we're going to do is we're going to take it like this and install it, and then it'll be away from your sill plate here, give clearance for the gas tank, and be all set. So let me get this bolted in with the rest of this, and I'll see if I come up with one or two more helpy handy hints for you. All right, I'm all tightened up and ready to go. Now I want you to consider a few other things at the same time. One of the things I like to do when I'm going to be taking my seat out and putting it back in is order these from Brothers Trucks too. You'll notice a couple of different things about this that I like. One, it's a point, and that makes it easier when you install in your seat because you'll have your carpeting, your juding, your sound deadening and all that kind of stuff. So a lot of times it'll be fat and fluffy. This longer bolt makes it easier to go in, and the point makes it a lot easier. You'll also notice on the end here, it kind of like has a washer already on it, so to speak. So these are really nice to get. You might take a look at our seat covers. We got a lot of nice seat covers. When you're pulling these through the seat, make sure that they don't twist either, because when they twist, they'll be shorter and they'll tuck back in there further. These should stick out about as far as you're looking at right now. It might be a little bit more or less depending if your seat is forward or back. Another thing that I remembered is that right here, a lot of times what you'll see in the trucks is just a little plastic plug that's in there and it's painted over. So obviously you'll just need to pop that out of there. Sometimes you'll find broken bolts in there and things like that too. You might have to contend with them, fortunately, but I'm sure you can do it. I've got confidence in you. It looks like we are all done today. You make sure you check us out on Facebook and Instagram and subscribe to the YouTube channel, because I tell you every single week to do it. There's also apparently bells and whistles and other things you can do. If you got a nice, helpful, handy comment that might help other people, leave it in the section down below. Be nice, y'all. We'll see you next Tuesday.